This is the Louie T Network. Hey, either you're outside or you're
in the lab room.
Who else could it be but me, your man, Louie T? Welcome. You are in the lab room. Of course, I am your host, Lou. Thank you for joining me. Week number 10 in the National Football League. Baltimore Ravens at home hosting the Tennessee Titans. And this was a snoozer, as every Tennessee Titans football game usually is, and nothing different here. And just in case you haven't had your chance to see why this team puts you to sleep every single week, you'll get your chance next week. They're going to be on national television for everybody to fall asleep against the Pittsburgh Steelers. So hopefully you'll get a chance to see, and I hope they actually entertain us. Are you not entertained? Hell no, I'm not entertained. It's the Tennessee Titans. I never am. But the Titans, somehow, some way, they've got to figure out what it is they have on this football team. I like the fact that they're starting Zach Mettenberger to find out if he could be the guy or not. You see some of the tools there. You see a lot of the things that made him an intriguing prospect throughout the process. But you also see some things that he's going to have to clean up. But again, that's what happens with rookies in this league. Let's jump into this. Ravens coming off of 2 consecutive losses within their division. So they need to get this one. This is the Tennessee Titans. There's no reason to lose this game at home. Get this win, get back on track, and see if you can't parlay this into a couple of wins in a row. If you're the Titans, it's an opportunity to go against a team that's lost 2 games in a row, probably looking for a little bit of confidence. If you come out, play some good football early on, maybe you could steal one on the road. Who knows? Let's see. Titans start the game with a 15-play drive, a beautiful 15-play drive. Get all the way down to the 1-yard line, and then disaster strikes. Sean Green fumbles at the 1-yard line. It's recovered by the Baltimore Ravens. That's what bad football teams do. And of course, you can't win like that in this league. And when you're a bad team, I say this all the time about the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Oakland Raiders, and I say it with this Tennessee Titans team a lot. When you're a bad football team, you can't afford, especially when you're on the road. It really doesn't matter. Home, away, it doesn't matter, because you're bad everywhere. When you're a bad football team, you can't afford to make mistakes. The Patriots can overcome mistakes. The Broncos, the Packers, those teams can overcome mistakes. Colts can overcome mistakes. They're good football teams. You don't qualify, so you can't make mistakes. You've got to play a damn near perfect football game to win, unless you're playing against another team that's just as bad, if not worse, than you are. Then, when you play the Jacksonville Jaguars, you can win, even if you make some mistakes. But you're not playing the Jacksonville Jaguars. You're playing the Baltimore Ravens. So you can't fumble at the 1-yard line. But that's what bad football teams do. And so, instead of it being 7-0, it's 0-0. Now, they ultimately get the stop, get the football back, and Zach Mettenberger takes his team back down the field, as he was sharp in this game early. I mean, he hit Nate Washington on a deep out. He hit Justin Hunter on a beautiful pass down the field. He was spreading the football around, and he was making some pinpoint accurate passes. Took this team back down the field, and this time they get in the end zone on a 1-yard Leon Washington touchdown. It's 7-0 Tennessee. That would be all the fireworks that you would get from this Titans team as they were done scoring for the remainder of the game. And that's what the Tennessee Titans can do. They can wow you with some of the things that they can do. Justin Hunter can go up and make a beautiful grab, and then you don't see him for the rest of the game. Where's Justin Hunter? No, seriously, where is he? You don't know, because he hasn't done anything since. And Zach Mettenberger went to sleep in this game. Batted balls, incompletions, unsustained offense. They couldn't do anything offensively. As you can see, they didn't score another point in this game. It allowed Baltimore to settle into the game, because Baltimore wasn't doing much of anything themselves, but they were able to run the football. Justin Forsett with a big day, 20 carries, 112 yards, 2 touchdowns, as he's assumed that alpha dog role as the main ball carrier for this Baltimore Ravens offense in the absence of Raymond Rice, who is, of course, off the team. They thought that Bernard Pierce would assume the bulk load of the carries, and hasn't been the case, as he got injured early in the season, had to deal with a concussion, and Justin Forsett took over, and he's been a revelation for this Ravens team. Had a huge game, 2 touchdowns. Torrey Smith ends up beating one of the corners deep, gets in the end zone. He scores a touchdown as well. So Ravens were able to put up 3 touchdowns. That's more than enough for a offensively deprived and starving football team in the Tennessee Titans. They are deficient of points each and every single week. So 21, more than enough to get it done, as the Baltimore Ravens dominate this football game 21-7 over the hapless and very dim and dark and dirty and nasty. That all the different adjectives you can use to explain a bad football team, the Tennessee Titans. They drop to 2-7 on the season to the Titans. Ravens go to 6-4 with the victory. So they're off the schneid, snaps their 2-game losing streak. Now they can kind of rest easy and see if they can parlay this win into a couple more as they look to get back on track in that tough AFC North. If you're the Titans, you're a bad football team. You don't score points. There's not a lot to look forward to. I really don't know. I wish I had words of positive reinforcement for you, but there's not much to say. This team is bad. And so, that's going to do it for Tennessee and Baltimore. I thank you for joining me. If it happens in the National Football League, whether big or small, we cover it all here in the lab room. Come back and join me as I've got plenty more games to break down in week number 10 in the National Football League season. In a bit.